welcome to Unity of Las Vegas. My name is Jim Lee. This is the Sunday after Christmas, and it's the Sunday before a brand new year. Most of us have had a different kind of Christmas. I think this will be a Christmas that we will all remember, Christmas of 2020. And as we close this chapter of 2020, closing out this year, we also are getting ready for 2021. And some of us are saying, oh God, I'll take the best, but I'm going to leave the rest. This was a very interesting year, but something is getting ready to emerge in 2021 that's going to be fabulous. Well, before we get there, let's take a look at the order of service. We've got a daily word will be by Randy, and then John Jones will be singing a song that's going to be the reoccurring theme in the talk today, and that is I Release and I Let Go. And the message title for today is The Call of the Wild and the Sweet Freedom of Surrender. And then Lisa will take us into a meditation. So as we get ready for this, we're going to release and let go and get ready for 2021. Let's do this.
Hello everyone. This is the daily word for Sunday, December 27th. Release. I take the best and leave the rest. My experiences this past year have brought me gifts of insight, new perspectives, many chances to grow and stretch myself, and perhaps the opportunity to develop a skill that serves me in my work or brings greater enjoyment to my leisure time. Some experiences have been painful or difficult. These too have offered their gifts. I accept all that has come my way. With gratitude, I bless it all. I find the gifts and release what no longer serves my growth. Assured that God is my dependable source, I release any pain of financial setback. In the joy of restored health, I release any memory of illness. Grateful for all modes of connection, I release any pain of loneliness. I move forward, feeling lighter, cleansed, and renewed for my personal journey forward. Do not remember the former things, or consider things of old. Isaiah 43:16. Have a great day.
Thank you, Randy. I take the best and leave the rest. There are so many great lessons in that single daily word, release. And what a fitting word for this final Sunday service of 2020. We're glad you're here with us today, friends, and we want you to know that we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we see the Christ in each of you. And it was wonderful to see you guys at our Christmas Eve service, too. We sure hope you enjoyed it. You'll be able to find all of our music performances on our channel playlist, Sunday Experience Posi-music playlist. Hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and share all of our programs with your friends and families. Now, here's a wonderful song to take us out of this year and prepare us for the new one. Written by a powerful, spiritual leader, healer, and composer most of you will be very familiar with, Ricky Byers. This is I Release.
There was a time in my life thought I'd have to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it all go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release, I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Thank you, John Jones. I release and I let go. That's the anthem for today. Is we're going to release and let go of 2020, because in a few days it's going to be 2021. Isn't that something? Now, remember this. 2021 is unwritten. We haven't written it yet. And so what we really want to do is, as we get ready to write 2021, we want the Spirit to run our life. Now, we have, I would call it, gotten into this wonderful space here as we've been teaching. This is like a liminal space just before 2021 gets here. And we're now, it's time for us to, in this period of time, to pause and take a moment. And there's an activity I want us to indulge ourselves in. And that is, I want us to let some stuff go. It's like a hot air balloon. In order for us to rise up, we need to let some things go. We need to let some of those heavy bags go that we've been carrying around with us. And these bags that we have, I call them belief systems, or BS, if you will. Now, they've served a purpose. They have gotten us where we are in life. Some of them have cherished, and some of them are really good, and they have been magnificent so far. But for us to go forward in 2021, we're going to need to let some of those old belief systems go instead of holding on to them, because they're like dead weight and they're holding us back on this journey. Now, as we let go, it calls for this interesting activity. We need to surrender and humble ourselves in order to allow Spirit to run our life. And so I want to include an affirmation at this point. An affirmation is this: God is my pilot and I am the co-pilot. What I'm saying is, I want us to get out of the driver's seat and allow God, the universe, the infinite presence, some people just call it pure love, to be our pilot. We're sitting in the co-pilot seat and we are taking orders, and we don't move until the pilot tells us, but most of the time, the pilot has got it. So now we're allowing this Spirit, this divine energy, to be our pilot. I would call it, we are now going by a new GPS, and that is God's positioning system, which is pure love. And now, in order to do that, we've got to surrender, and that means we let go of our self-authoring. We're in control. And relax and say, I'm not in control. I'm not even in the driver's seat. And when we relax, something happens and we allow spirit in. We just breathe in. I'm letting love take control. Now, in Matthew, the 10th chapter, Jesus invited his followers to leave everything behind, to let it go and to follow him. And what he was saying, to completely let stuff go so that they can follow. And if they would do that, the whole new way of living would open up to them. And this is one of the commandments that Jesus said to them. He says, deny yourself. I know, deny yourself sounds like, oh no, do I really have to? It doesn't mean what you think it means. It doesn't mean to put yourself down. It doesn't mean to say that you're unworthy, that you're not good enough. It doesn't mean to deny yourself, doesn't mean to devalue yourself. And also, to deny yourself doesn't mean that you stop having all pleasures and that you deny yourself of all the good experiences in life. That's not what Jesus is talking about. Over and over again, it says, Jesus came here so that we can have life and have it more abundantly, not to take it away. So what does he mean by denying? And he says, don't put yourself at the center of life. That's where God belongs. That's where love belongs. That is the Christ consciousness belongs. Jesus is saying, take yourself out of the pilot seat and move over to the co-pilot seat. We are co-creators. And so the denying ourselves is to take away this self-centeredness and turn it over to God-centeredness, a love-centeredness. This whole universe is designed to function with God as the center, orchestrating everything. None of the planets or anything orchestrate themselves. They are in perfect harmony with the universal plan. So this is what we are doing in 2021. We're putting love at the center. And as we do, we are following one of the main commandments that Jesus said, and it says, seek ye first the kingdom. And that is to put God at the center of your life. And if we do that, all the other things that you want, prosperity, abundance, divine order, health, everything that you want will come in alignment once we do that. And so this process of 2021, we are now releasing and letting go all of the stuff. We're going to deny our ego position in the number one, and we're going to allow something else to manifest itself. Now, there is a magnificent freedom in this. And just think about it when we say, you know what? I'm not in charge. I am going to allow that magnificent energy that created the universe to be in charge of my life. And when we do this, I like it. It's like a wildness occurs. Because this unique love that's bursting forth from us doesn't play by the three-dimensional rules that we have in this consciousness. Our perceptions, our intuitions, and all of that is actually turned inside out. What was once on the outside is now on the inside, because we realize that what's going on the outside is actually occurring inside of us. And also what's occurring inside of us, we start seeing it on the outside. Once we get into this vibrational field of oneness, we start seeing things differently. We see that divine order can be in the midst of this human chaos. And this human order sometimes can bring on absolute chaos. There is a wildness here of things turning around upside down as we experience letting go and letting this beauty, this wonder, this potency, this power, this magnificence of the Christ presence to move in and through us. It is possible. Now, let me go back to about the year 2000. Gosh, that was 20 years ago. I just arrived at what was called Church of Today. It's called Renaissance Unity now. At the time, we had about a strong men's group. It was about 60 men. Once a month, we would get together, and we were looking at moving forward in life. There was a book that we were looking at, and it was called The 21st Century Man. And what we didn't want to be is a 21st century wimp. We want to be a potent, powerful man. So I created this affirmation, and it was this: I am holy boldness in action. So we had the guys say it, and they were shouted, I am holy boldness in action. Now, for this truth to be real, I had to explain a few things. The first thing is, I want to break it down in 3 segments. I am is not our ego. The I am is our Christ consciousness, that universal presence that is more than our bodies, way more than a history in the past, way more than our genders and all of that. It is the divine essence of who we are. It's our Christ consciousness. And so whenever we say I am, we're talking about that Christ presence. And then we say, once we get in touch with that, we're ready for holy boldness. Now, this holy boldness is just the opposite of what you think it is. In order for you to be holy, in order for you to be bold, that means you surrender yourself and allow the boldness of the Spirit to come forward. Without the surrender, without humbling, there is no boldness. It works hand in hand. And then with that, you can then go in action. And so we had a hand movement with it, and it was this: I am holy boldness in action. So we would do that, and this was what I would call a yogic experience. And so we tried to feel it in our bodies, and it started transforming everybody, including myself. Then I took it to the congregation. And so we had everybody do it, not only just men. I would say everybody, men, women, and children. I am holy boldness in action. What this does is, when you look at the spiritual component of it, it puts us in harmony, in sync, in congruence, in alignment with the oneness, with the light that you are. That is the holy boldness that's coming forward. There is this authentic alignment that is ready to just burst forward. All we've got to do is allow it. Now, this allowing it comes forward brings a new wisdom and insight because it's pure love, and it transcends. It's got this wonderful, unique wildness to it. It breaks down this 3-dimensional realm of duality and this and that and those people and opposites. It doesn't play in that realm. It plays in a different realm because this realm of allowing the Spirit to come forward is so wild and so bold that it turns everything upside down so that you can start to see that there is a divine order in human chaos. There is something magnificent that's occurring. All we need to do is relax and allow it to happen. Now, holy boldness in action is, I would say, so potent and so powerful, even though I started it 20 years ago, it is now my email address. Holy boldness in action. And I love saying that to somebody to say, hey, what's your email address? Holy boldness in action. And I could hear the people on the other end of the phone say, really? But you know what I mean? It's really for me. You know, I'm not interested in what other people think. This is a reminder for me to get in touch with what's authentically there. And when I am humbling myself, when I am relaxing all of the egoic thoughts and everything that goes on, and I'm surrendering to this love, boldness now comes forward. There's a wildness of spirit. I call it Spirit Unleashed. Now, there was this guy by the name of Ernie Lawson. Gosh, he's a gifted spiritual leader and teacher. And he visited Church of Today a lot. And he was one of the featured speakers there. And there's a saying that he said that I really like, and I want to take a look at it. And it goes like this. It's an exhilarating ride full of exploding energy and exaggerated fears. We will skate, you and I, on the razor's edge of death. But if you go with me, know this, there is no power of things past or to come, of depths too deep or wrongs too scarlet that can stand against our touch. We will do great things, you and I. Oh, I love that. That's the wild boldness. You can't make a claim like that on your own ego. You can't make a claim like that dealing with the thoughts of the past and all that limitations. You can't make the claim like this dealing with the 6 o'clock news and all the stuff that's going on. The only way we can do that is let that stuff go. Get in touch with the divine essence of who you are. And it's simply put, you don't need a college degree and go to, sorry to say this, you don't need to go to church every Sunday to do this, even though I encourage you to do this. The whole thing is that you get in touch with that supreme love that's already in you, that you came here with. Yes, this is the year. We're really going to do this. I know you're saying, okay, this is going to be a great year. We've been saying this over and over, but no, this is it. All we've got to do is choose it. Let's go on this wild, divine ride with spirit that is calling us forward, and we are allowing it to come forward with the potent capability of transforming ourselves, transforming everything around us, and being in harmony with the universe, and it's going to transform that. It's ready. Are you ready? The universe is. It's 2021. It's getting ready to happen. So let's release and let the stuff go. Let the spirit run our life. Our hearts now are open wide, and we're only here for God. Our anthem is this: my God, this is a fantastic time to be alive. And now Lisa will take us into meditation to place a deep surrender into our wonderful untamed love, and so that it can express itself. We're ready for this. Let's do this.
As Jim was saying, as we reach the close of this very challenging year, many of us are thinking now about everything that we would like to leave behind in 2020 as we move forward into 2021. And what tops the list are all the things that have in some way been unpleasant, everything that didn't go according to plan, and the pain of loss. These things fall into the category of what I would call low-hanging fruit. We have little attachment to them, and so we are readily poised to let them go. And there is a wisdom that is ever ready to meet all that we release with compassion and love. And then there is another category of letting go that is being called forth that many of us on a spiritual path have experienced, that reaches into our comfort zones and asks us to release outdated thinking, perceptions, and beliefs that have become dead weight on our spiritual journey, our BS, as Jim calls it, our belief systems. Some of these ways of being may actually be pleasant and dear to us. And it is in this place that surrender is precious indeed. Now, what is calling us forth has a certain wildness to it. It doesn't play by the rules. In the realm of spirit, our perceptions are turned inside out, and what was once up is now down. We find here that divine order is in truth human chaos, and human chaos is divine order. Spiritual wildness is the magical face of love, drawing us closer, ever ready to set us free, to experience more of itself. It's freeing us from our domestication, loosening our ties to cultural norms, attuning us to our true natures. In our hearts, it is a sweet, longed-for freedom that we access through intentional surrender. It's a part of us that is both strangely familiar and yet dynamic and new. Jesus regularly invited his followers to leave everything and follow him. And this can be translated to mean to completely let go of their perceived reality, however beautiful it may be, for a whole new way of being far more glorious than they could imagine. So this year, I invite us in our year-end releasing party to surrender to our divine wild side and to respond with a resounding yes to this call of the wild. This truly is a calling forth of the lion-hearted in us, but it is calling us into a life that is vibrantly alive, free, potent, and capable of consciously transforming the universe. This is truly the adventure of a lifetime. So let's abide now in meditation in this place of deep surrender to the untamed love of the divine. So I invite you now just to find a comfortable way of sitting and begin focusing on the breath and that beautiful rhythm of in and out, inhales and exhales. And imagine the breath as an exchange of air, noticing consciously taking the air in of the universe into your body and exchanging air back into the universe from your body. And notice that the boundaries between what is out there and what is in here begin to blur and to soften. The boundaries between you and the universe begin to soften. And this freedom of flow between you and the universe, between the universe and you. And now bring attention to your heart and just sensing into its warmth, its radiance, its lion-heartedness, this quality that will embrace it all. And also sense into its tenderness and vulnerability. Allow all the ways you are deeply touched by the world to be present. Your dearest relationships, both the joy and the pain of them. your deepest held beliefs about love and what's true. Allow the fullness of your heart to be here, appreciating all the varying colors and textures that are here. Its beautiful complexity. And sense now this allurement of love that is ever present inside of your heart, calling you forth into something larger, a calling into a new way of being, a new order, something untamed and free, something wild. Say yes to this calling and surrender into the exquisiteness of the universal heart. Receive the welcome embrace of its wisdom and love. Melanie Koulouris says, spiritual freedom embodies a liberated soul. Release it all. Just let go. Melt into the freedom of this timelessness, its open spaciousness, the rhythm and pulse of the universal heart creates a new order, undomesticated, non-conventional, yet harmonious and synchronized, radically new, and yet strangely familiar. You know that you are home here. This is the home that you've always longed for. Rumi says, you have escaped the cage. Your wings are stretched out. Now fly. Soar in the freedom of this spacious heart. Sense into the expansiveness of your fully extended wingspan. There are no obstacles. Nothing is in your way. Soar in the full expression of your divinity. Untamed, wild, and free. Knowing in your heart of hearts that this is the way it really is.
Thank you, Lisa, for your meditation. We are ready to fly with new freedom. Let's breathe that in and let it sink into our very soul. Well, thank each and every one of you for joining us today. It has been a pleasure to be of service. And if you would like to continue on with a conversation, at least about any of these topics or something that's personal for you, join us for our special fellowship time right after church. And you can register on the website or check out the instructions or on the comments section just to join us. Now, also, if the service has supported you in any kind of way, I'm asking you to do a couple of things. One is to not only to subscribe, but to actually join our community every week if you would, and share this with the family, with friends, or anybody that you think could use a positive message, because that's what we do here. And I'm inviting you to partner with us. First of all, through prayer, and then with your financial tithes and offerings. And you can do that via the phone and just go to our website also to be able to make a contribution. So whatever you give, just want you to know that we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. So now as we go forward, we have our closing, which is a prayer for protection. It'll come up on the screen now, and I would like for you to say it with me. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you.
Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I